Welcome to the 168th episode of Gorilla Radio, and this is our first ever Girls State Finals preview. I have Mr. Brandon Razo here tonight to talk girls wrestling and girls state finals brackets. Brandon's not from an undisclosed location this time, so you can actually see him. He's out of the witness protection program out of Decatur. So
yep. And my lovely office tonight.
Nice. How are the girls semi-states? What's the lowdown on how everything went with that?
Semi-state was a success. From what I've heard, the crowds were good, and the matches were great. There were a lot of great ticket round matches. Some of the coaches, I was talking to, they were like, it felt like the emotions and stuff that a coach gets during the boys' ticket round matches. So it was great to see. There's some people worried and stuff about there being some buys and stuff, but in the end, it worked out. There was a lot of good competition, a lot of great matches. Some girls, had tough draws, just like normal, and didn't make it. And we were able to see a lot of new girls that really didn't know about. So I think semi-state was great.
Yeah, that sounds good. I guess man, my hat's crooked. Wearing the cowboy hat because I guess cowboy hats are now banned at the state finals this weekend. The rumor on the street.
Rumor on the street. I guess a little too glittery for the wrestling mats.
Mine's not that glittery. I'm sorry. Mine sans glitter, but I guess some cowboy hats are a little too glittery for some people's likings, and I guess there are no cowboy hats allowed this week. I don't know. I got the rumor from an inside source. Won't tell you where that source is from. So I'm wearing a cowboy hat in honor and to stand with the girls. Brent, I can't believe you don't have a cowboy hat. I'm sure you have a cowboy hat somewhere. You can probably.
I don't have a cowboy hat.
You're gonna get kicked out of Decatur not having a cowboy hat, aren't you?
We're a little north of the cowboy hat region.
Cowboy hat, nice. So we're gonna get in on the brackets. I guess anything else. I guess a couple of little house cleaning things. We are not streaming the Mount Carmel match. The Mount Carmel school is streaming that. That's on YouTube, so check that out tomorrow. I will be at the Cubs convention, so just 10 miles down the road. Hopefully everyone gets all their events in, because I know it's going to be kind of snowy. So is it going to snow down there where you're at?
They took all the snow away from us over here in Springfield, Illinois. We were supposed to have anywhere from 6 to 11 through tomorrow and tomorrow night, but now it's just looking like maybe an inch and a bunch of rain.
Oh, wow.
So
that's not too bad. So
yeah, so I mean we're pretty much about straight across from Indianapolis, okay, over in Illinois. So I don't know, hopefully they can get it in. I know a couple of years ago we had to deal with some wet weather on the girls' state day, but we got the tournament in, and it was a slow drive home.
Yeah. It sounds like the snow's not supposed to come till later in the like afternoon and stuff, or later in the morning. So after weigh-ins would start and everything, so they'll just be stuck in Kokomo. So, but so yeah, I do not know why my comments are not working anymore. I do not like this. So anyway, we're gonna go to the bracket. And I gotta bring the bracket up. There we go. We're gonna talk about the bracket a little bit and let Brandon kind of go over. Let me fix this a little bit. Who the top girls are in each bracket, any kind of crazy matches that are gonna happen. Oops, there we go. And if you didn't know that we do have our nice IndianaMat brackets that are on our website, there's a girls' state info center, so you can get these nice, pretty brackets with our rankings on them. So check those out if you want to. So 100 pounds, top quarter bracket: Madison Michaels, Portage, Anea Delgado. I should probably zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Woo! We gotta move that over now. Fix this up a little bit. There we go. Then Briley Wilkerson Sullivan and Angelina Clay Lakeland. So that should be a pretty good quarter bracket, looks like.
Yeah, two of the top girls right there. Madison Michaels, who got a good win last week at semi-state over Kirsten Cortez of Lake Central. And then Angelina Clay, she had a ticket round match against Katie Rolls from Jay County, and she was able to get a 4-3 victory in that ticket round match. So those are two of your better girls coming out of that quarter bracket. So that'll be a good quarter round match.
And then next quarter, returning champion Kendall Moe against Sydney Stoller of Tri-County, and Madison Henderson against Katie Eppley. That's an interesting way. One thing I found out with the girls is there's a million different ways to spell every name. So that's first. I assume that's a Katie. So.
Yep, that's a Katie. That's probably one of 5 variations I've seen this year for that name.
Yes. So.
Yeah, you got Kendall Moe right there from Hamilton Heights. She's having a great season. Again, she was a runner-up over at the Ironman in the girls division. She's had some national success, and she's been very dominant in the girls season. And she's even does pretty well against the boys. I was able to watch her last Saturday at Team State, and I'd look over and she's pounding on the boys. So. She's small, but she's really, really good.
Yeah, she made it to semi-state last year, I believe, against the boys. So,
yeah.
Bottom half of the bracket: Aaliyah Brown of Center Grove, Eva Smith of Eastern, Jada Taylor, and Victoria Dunazalea.
Yeah, Aaliyah Brown, a tough wrestler from Center Grove. Having a pretty good season, coming out as semi-state champ out of Mooresville. Duena Zalea, she's been back and forth with a couple of the girls in this bracket. And then Jada Tahir from Maryville. I don't know much about her, but I've seen her get some good wins so far through this postseason. So that could be a pretty good matchup right there in the first round.
Yeah. The last quarter, Kaylee Honecker from East Noble. East Noble won semi-state out of Rochester. Avalee Reynolds, Franklin Community. Rihanna Benson of Warren Central, and Kirsten Cortez of Lake Central. So if you notice on our brackets, we do have the past state experience. So you can go back and see what girls have done in the past and kind of, see how they stack up against the competition.
Yeah, so Kirsten Cortez, returning state runner-up, just like I said, took her first loss last weekend against Madison Michaels from Portage. That could be a barn burner there in the quarters with Honecker and Cortez.
105. Kinley Keffer of Daleville. You were said last week she kind of came out of nowhere. Lily Anderson, Mishawaka Marion, Lily Greenfield with 1 L, and Asia Bowen of Greenfield Central.
So I just started noticing some results from that Keffer girl, and got her into the rankings last week, and I wanted to see how it went. And she came through and winning the Rochester semi-state. And just looking at some of the stuff that's been going on through this weight class elsewhere. I'm seeing, she's probably a lot better than what I've known. So her ranking really went up after last weekend.
Yeah. Going down, Joanna Cantu of Hobart, Mario Rescalvo, Maria, sorry, Anaya Jeffers, and Kenna Kleinschmidt. Cantu, her sister is Joy Cantu at Maryville, correct?
I am not sure.
I believe they were
sisters.
Cousins. Yeah, I thought they were sisters. I thought they wrestled, or were supposed to wrestle last year, possibly. I don't know. Mike's watching; he'll tell me.
So yeah, Cantu, semi-state winner, pretty good season going so far. I think she should be able to probably handle that quarter bracket.
So, gotta be on the spreadsheet. Going down, Libby Dowdy, who does not have a grade. Ariana.
I think she's a sophomore.
Yeah, they don't have it on track, so this is all pulled from track. Ariana Sierra, Colleen, True Love,
Colleen.
and Gabriela Costello.
Yeah, right there. You got Libby Dowdy from Indian Creek. Really good wrestler, undefeated. And unfortunate for her, she drew on the same side as Heather Crawl for the semis. But yeah.
Okay, Mike did say they were sisters. That's what I thought. Bottom quarter, Heather Crawl. She's pretty good. She has like a world bronze medal, so I'd say she's decent at wrestling. Candace Williams, Mooresville, Summer Stoller, Tri-County, and Jackie Shackelford from Northside.
Yeah, Heather Crawl's good, and and it looks like we're not going to see another battle of her and Ocampo, which has been the past 2 years under the lights for the girls. But 105 is for her to take. She's an outstanding wrestler.
Yeah. She we might see it in the boys state tournament, so we could see that. But yeah, Curl's really good. She been second the past 2 years to Ocampo, so I guess maybe they had a gentlewoman's agreement, a ladies' agreement to go separate weights. But going down, Olivia Craw, Northeastern. That's Heather's younger sister. She's obviously having a real good season. Aubrey Deem of East Noble, Reese Kaspierzik of Lake Central, and Anna Marie Schuler of Seymour.
Yeah, so that right there, that is a tough quarter bracket. Kasperzik and Schuler, that first round match, that should be a pretty good one right there. And then the winner in the quarters will get to go against Crawl, freshman with only a couple losses. So that quarter bracket, that's a pretty good competitive quarter bracket.
Yeah, looks like it. And then going down, obviously the top half this bracket is pretty loaded. Juliana Ocampo, Monica Alvarado, Chloe Nadelsky, and Sienna Henderson. Ocampo, obviously, she's the class of this field right here.
Yeah. Yep. So her. She should have her way with this weight class. But like I said, it should be. It should be more competitive matches than what she's been having in the past with some of these girls. Because, like I said, it's getting better through the state, and we're starting to see a lot better wrestling.
Yeah, the depth is definitely getting better and better. So going down the bottom half of the bracket, A.V. Burkholder, Switzerland County, Mercedes Carter, Laporte, Micaiah, That's another one that's spelled about 16 different ways. Brainerd of Monroe Central and Kylie Smith Foster Greenfield Central. So that looks like it should be a good one. Good quarter bracket. I think Smith Foster she's a 4-time qualifier. She just did not wrestle one year due to COVID, I believe.
Yeah, she had qualified for state, and then I think tested positive for COVID, and was unable to wrestle at state. So you're looking at that quarter bracket, and the quarterfinals probably Burkholder and Smith Foster. Burkholder actually just, I didn't have anything on her all year, and she just kind of broke into the rankings. She had some. Let me see. Who'd she beat? So yeah, she came through with her first match beating Clippa Franklin. Then in the semifinals, beating Nadelsky of Mooresville, and then beating Schuler from Seymour in the finals last week at semi-state. So a really good semi-state tournament. I've seen her name before. Cause I already had her we already had her in the database, but really wasn't sure if she was actually wrestling this year.
Yeah.
So that'll be a nice match with her there in the quarters with Smith Foster.
Yeah. No, that's the joys of the girls wrestling. They're still spotty, especially down south where it's a little bit harder to get some girls events, and they all of a sudden they pop up out of nowhere, and you haven't seen them or heard anything about them. So it's getting better.
I think there's not much internet, and Triple B has all the satellites linked to just his house.
Yeah, so he can do the rankings. Obviously, that's why he has. He's hogging all the internet. I mean, there's only so much bandwidth that they can they can have there down south, and he's just pulling it all. So the last quarter bracket: Joy Cantu, Kaylee Bowler, and Claire May, and Lily Quinn. Obviously, Cantu's a pretty good wrestler. She was finished 3rd and 4th her first 2 years, and she's pretty tough. I mean, she does really well against the boys too, and definitely one to watch there.
Yeah, and and the past couple of years, it's been her, Ocampo, and Kroll in the same weight class. So she's had to be battling those two, and one of those two in the semifinals the past 2 years. So luckily this year, she'll have that better path to the finals match.
Yeah. 115. Tola Alaku Ben Davis, Katie Fearnow. That's a cool name. Clinton Prairie, Marissa Schneider, and Aaliyah McLean. So you got some pretty, 1 and 4 in that quarter bracket should be a good one there.
Yeah, and McLean was, she was previously until probably last week, she was ranked number 1 pretty much all year at 115, and then she's taken a couple losses the past couple weekends to Isabel Kaplan from West Lafayette, but she's still a really good wrestler. That second round, that quarter round match with her and Aluko, that's going to be probably one of the best matches of that early rounds.
Yeah. Next quarter, Kayla Rowell, Lydia Justice, Kaylee Button, and Michaela Winthrow from West Noble.
Yeah, so you got Rowell, sophomore there from Milan, 1 loss on the year. Having a good season, semi-state champ. she's gonna draw a tough one there in the quarters with Button from Portage. Button also just took her first loss of the season last week at semi-state. And she's in a good. I mean, with Kaplan and McLean there, that was a pretty good semi-state there at Penn.
Yeah, Any Penn still in the mix as a team, one of the better teams in the state, and knowing who they're gonna always have their some pretty good girls. And I think up in the Northwest area, they're starting to really the girls wrestling is really starting to take off there. Going down the next quarter bracket, Isabel Ocampo, Olivia Gibson, Rebecca Snyder, and Shanna Bass of Franklin Central.
So the other Ocampo sister, this right here, this is what, East Noble won the Rochester semi-state, and that right there, right now is just, a lot of it's with numbers, having a lot more girls to be able to get points right off the bat. But I think this is where New Haven starts making their run. They got 4 girls within, I believe, the top 5, and a lot of them have pretty good draws, except I think at 155. But 155, there is no good draw. That is it's a stacked weight class. But yeah, you got Ocampo here, probably a good quarterfinal match with Shayna Bass of Franklin Central. I see Ocampo should come out of this quarter bracket just fine.
Then you got number 3, Isabel Kaplan of West Lafayette, Cheyenne Welch of Carroll, Abby Bohr of Southport, and Sasha Hicks of Jennings County, I believe. Let's see, yeah. Kaplan was 6th last year. I thought she was a little bit higher.
So number 3, Kaplan, a win the past 2 weeks over McLean. And then she has Welch. Welch was a qualifier last year. Welch had a big win in the ticket round, beating Emma Jones of Cowan. I think at the time Jones was, ranked 5th or 6th. So that was a pretty good ticket round win for Welch. But yeah, Kaplan should come out of this quarter, and that when it gets there to the semis, her and Ocampo, that'll be an exciting match there with those 2 young girls.
Going down 120, Delaney Koblecki, Jillian Donnelly, Rachel Ramirez, and Hanley Corporal.
Koblecki from Rensselaer Central was able to knock out Villarreal from Griffith in the ticket round match. When I was watching, I saw she was ahead, but then it looked like there may have, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure how the match ended, if there would end up being an injury or something. But she's had, over the past couple of weeks, she's had some really big wins. So she's really starting to turn it on right here in the tournament.
Yeah. One thing you notice a lot of different names of here. I think is what I told you. 117 different schools are represented at state, which is really good. Usually the boys are right around 100 to 100, between 100 and 110, so a little bit more. And some of these teams you don't get to see in the boys' side as much, so it's pretty neat to see the success throughout the whole state and that kind of representation. Next quarter bracket, Jalessa Reginald, Southport, Katie Snyder, Shaylee Walker, Western, and Sophia Buchna from Terre Haute North. So you got 2 and 4 right there in the quarters potentially.
Yeah, so Reginald, great season, great pickup for Southport this year. She was previously the last 3 years at Northview. Um, that was a great addition for that team. Because they're one of the top teams for the girls. They have a lot of top ranked girls that have a chance to get some points. So that'll be a big quarterfinal match with her and Buchner. Buchner was a runner up last year, and she also has a win over. She's handed Phoebe Dowdy from Indian Creek her only loss of the season this year.
So, oops, hold on. Okay, going down. Bottom half of the bracket, Phoebe Dowdy from Indian Creek, Emma Ratz of East Noble, Kylie Benoit of Hanover Central, and then Cesare Phillips of Centerville. And it's a common theme to have a Phillips in the lineup, this time on the girls' side.
Yep, and it's a trend throughout. You see a lot of well-known names from schools and communities, and now you're seeing the same name on the girls' side for the sport. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, Phoebe Dowdy definitely the favorite there in that quarter bracket.
Yeah.
But should probably have a really good first round match there with Benoit and Phillips.
Yep. Last quarter bracket, number 3, Naima Gaffar of Northwood. I know she qualified for semi-state last year. Faith Hand of Bloomington South, Paige Stiers of LaPel, and Tia Peter of West Central.
Yeah, Gaffar is having a really good season. I mean, she got 6 last year at 113, but she's been really dominant this year in her matches, and she's beat probably almost every girl ranked below her. She's probably beat this year. So I'm really excited to kind of see probably her there in the semis against Dowdy, but you can't count out that Tia Peter from West Central. She's had a really good past couple weeks.
Going down 125, Rose Kaplan. I believe she's returning state champion. Abigail Lemon, Jenna Thompson, and Natalie Spadell of East Noble. So you got 5 and 8 first round. That'll be a good one. And as you said, it's just like the boys. It's a numbers game. East Noble had 6 girls qualify. Was it
8 girls?
8 girls. 8. Wow. And then, so they're hoping you can get some girls that win that first match. You can score a lot of points and be right there. And they're one of the ones with quite a few girls. I'd have to go double check who has the most real quick.
Yeah, so Rose Kaplan, she has some losses, but those are on the boys' side. Returning state champ, national success, committed to Indiana Tech. She definitely a clear favorite coming out of that quarter.
Yeah. Then the next quarter, Ariana Quezada, Amy Bossman, Christian Lewis, and Sydney Delois of New Pal. So that's another good quarter bracket.
Yeah. So Delois, she's had to battle Johnson at semi-state, but she should handle that quarter bracket. The Quesada girl was, I believe, actually the runner-up. This is a weight class where an alternate was in. Unfortunately, the semi-state champ from the Mooresville semi-state will not be competing. So everyone moved up a spot from that semi-state.
Yeah. Team-wise, East Noble has 8. Penn has 7. Just looking at them right now. And Southport has 7. There's a lot with 5, 2, and 3. And then, those are the main teams with a lot of girls entered. So that's pretty good to see that many girls or different teams represented, so it should be a good team race there. Bottom half of the bracket, Nevaeh Wilson of Angola, Amina Rushunagam,
Taylor.
Yes, thank you. And Madeline Hutchinson from Mooresville and Angel Smith of Plymouth. That should be a pretty solid quarter bracket there.
Yeah, I mean, right there, the 4 seed and 1 seed with Wilson and Razuna Guko Taylor. That could be a really good opening round match right there. And then the quarterfinal bracket, the winner of that is going to face a pretty tough freshman from Plymouth, Angel Smith.
Yeah. The last quarter bracket, Kyla Johnson, Southport, McKenna McKee from Rochester, Riley Sheldon, Tri-County, and Adeline Gamlin of North Posey.
Yeah, so you got Kyla Johnson there from Southport, undefeated, very dominant on the girls' side. 2 years ago, she won state at 113, and then last year got beat in the finals match, I believe, from the girl from what's the hot dog school?
Frankfurt.
Yeah. There in the finals. So she definitely has. That's probably definitely on her mind to get back to the finals, and that should be a great match if we see Kaplan and Johnson in the finals there at 125.
Yeah, that should be a good one. That's obviously both are. She's on. Are they both? Yeah. Kaplan, I assume those are all boys' losses.
Yeah.
So 2 undefeated against the girls. Going down 130, Elegala of Northfield, ranked number 1. Abby Gilbert of Hagerstown. Marcy Zagel of Logansport, and Madison Whitted of Mooresville.
Returning state champ Ella Gall, senior, undefeated, ranked number 1. She should come out of that quarter bracket probably pretty easily. When you see her go out on the mat, I love watching her wrestle. I mean, you can see it on her face. She has that mentality that she wants to go out there and she wants to win. She wants to dominate. She's been over the few years one of my favorites to watch.
And going down, you got number 2 Kyra Tomlinson, Noblesville, Hadley Elling of East Noble, Aurora Roberts and of Greencastle, and Jocelyn Barnett of Attica.
Yes, Tomlinson, another real good wrestler, state runner-up, 3rd place her freshman year. She's had a really good career so far. One of the top girls that's been helping the state evolve and grow within the sport. She should be fine out of that quarter bracket, and that right there. That's one of those draws you don't want to see with her and Gall in the semis, but anything can happen. I mean, last year there were talks of girls, people thinking that it's the 2 best ones, and they're on the same side, and some people were upset, and then neither of those girls won. I think that's just a credit to where the sport is going. There's new girls in the mix, and it's getting a lot more competitive out there. So
yeah, the depth is.
But that right there should be a fun match to watch with those 2 if they meet up in the semis.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the depth is coming at a fast pace. Going down the second half of the bracket, Lily Colbreth of Kankakee Valley, Aubrey Cummings of Jeffersonville, Lindsay Pugh of North Miami, and Ezra Wagner of New Pal.
Yeah, right. I mean, this quarter bracket, it's for the taking. All 4 girls are having a really good seasons. If anything, Wagner and Colbreth could be a little more the favorites, but you still got Cummings, who was a state qualifier last year. Uh, so a lot of good records, a lot of wins between these four girls. I mean, 29, 21, 14, 17. So that should be a pretty competitive quarter bracket there.
Yeah. The last one, last quarter bracket, Hannah Seitsinger of Indian Creek, Michelle Perez Atali of Lafayette Jefferson, Sophia Shea of Northmont, and Aubrey Troutner of Huntington North.
Yeah, so freshman Troutner from Huntington North having a real good year. Um, she's beaten a lot of good girls this year. Um, so I mean that's when I first saw the brackets Saturday. This was a quarter bracket that was like, oh, with Seitzinger and Troutner probably going at it there in the quarters. Seitzinger, an undefeated season going, really strong competitor, third place twice. She's also signed with Indiana Tech to compete next season. So, yeah, I'd say whoever comes out of that quarter bracket will probably be under the lights.
Yeah. 135, Homestead, Oberlin trained Katie Vardaman from Homestead, Taylor Mason of Mount Vernon Posey, Shelby Looper of Clinton Prairie, and Kaylee Smith of Mishawaka. So you got three girls in the top 7. That should be a good quarter.
Yeah, it's very, very tough quarter bracket here. Vardaman, really good season. When the season got started, Oberlin was like, "Hey, man, hey, she had a good off season. She's going to be tough this year, and she's proved it. She's tough. I like seeing her matches. And then you got Looper and Smith. A couple. I don't know if all 3 losses for Smith. I think just 2 of them are to Celeste from Penn. So Kaylee Smith, having a great year. Her Looper should be a pretty good match. And then the winner getting Vardaman. That's a tough quarter bracket right there at 135.
Yeah. Going down, you got Cian Rogers of Jeffersonville, Akira Jones of Muncie Central, Carly Mann of Valpo, and June Wagner Gilbert of New Pal. Man, is that right? She has almost 40 matches? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of the names I've seen, every weekend wrestling. So yeah, I mean, there's some girls that this year that they're picking up 30 plus matches, and it's against other girls. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
had to do a double take when I saw that. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. So Rogers from Jeffersonville, 2-time qualifier, 1 loss on the year. And then let's see, June Wagner Gilbert. She's a freshman. She's having a great season. Only 3 losses, some big wins over some really good girls. I'm excited to see how she does in this tournament and over the next few years, since she's only a freshman.
Yeah. Going down, you got Haley Sellis of Penn, Carissa Shaddle of Centerville, Lena Lingo of Jay County, one of the cooler names there. Claire Redwine of Switzerland County, another pretty good quarter bracket there.
Get something real quick. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so let's see this quarter bracket. Celeste ranked number 2, 1 loss on the year. Coming from Penn, I think this is so far the first girl for Penn. Finally at 135. I'm having a great year. Like I said, the past couple weekends, She's beat Kaylee Smith of Mishawaka, pinned her both times. Um, and she's going to probably run into a red wine uh, sophomore from Switzerland County. She had a really good win in the semis last week over Holtgren from Mooresville, a tech fall over that freshman who has had a really good season so far, only a couple losses.
And then the last quarter bracket, Maddie Marsh, Pendleton Heights. Undefeated freshman, Kennedy 9 of Wawasee, Nevaeh Holtgren of Mooresville, and Alexis Spalding, Columbia City.
And so Holtgren and Spalding, good opening round match right there. Spalding, she some of her losses, she's lost to some pretty good girls, having to battle Vardaman last week at semi-state. The winner of that, draws number 1 Maddie Marsh from Pendleton Heights, freshman, an outstanding freshman. So, and then we'll get to see, probably Marsh and Solis there in the semis. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this Marsh girl too over the next 4 years.
Yeah. So there's some good mixture of young and old in this weight class. That's pretty impressive at 135 in the girls, which is basically akin to about 157, 165 in the boys. So
yeah.
140 Aries Day of Clinton Prairie, Madeline McCarty of Mount Vernon Posey, Kamaya Bell of East Noble, and Charisma Lawrence of Maryville. So that looks like a really good quarter bracket too.
Yeah, good quarter bracket there. Bell came in about halfway through the season for East Noble. She had moved away, I guess, and came back. She's a returning state placer. Lawrence was a qualifier last year. Got beat in the first round. Got beat in the first round at state. Pretty much an upset. She's very tough, fun to watch. Very athletic, quick. Her 2 losses, both losses are to Bastaic from Highland. But she's closed the gap. I think last week the score was only 3-0. Yeah. So, Lawrence number 3 should come out of that quarter bracket right there.
Yeah. Going down, Ava Allen, Silver Creek, Riley Thomas of Alexandria, Cadence Ash of Penn, and Lindsay Dill of Northfield. So that'll be a real good first round matchup for a state medal.
Yep, that right there, that's a match. Penn's going to need for the team race. It's just like on the boys' side. Every match matters right now for the team race. Then you got Ava Allen. She was a state champ last year at 152, down to 140 this year. Very very tough wrestler. I think most of her losses are on the boys' side.
Then going down the bottom half of the bracket, Alexandra Bastaic of Highland, Emily Manor of Jay County, Lane Mullins Jasper, and Lena Prater.
Yep.
Lena. Tried my best to not butcher too many names. So yeah, Bastaic, ranked number 1. She was champ last year, runner up.
Yep, won it last year at 126 as a freshman.
Jeez, and Allen's moving down from 152. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got someone from 126 coming up to 140, and someone from 152 heading down to 140. Bastaic, all her losses are to boys this year. She should handle that quarter bracket. Although Mullins, pretty strong senior there, could be someone that could give her fits there in the quarters.
Mm-hmm. Going down, Naomi Leffers of Central Noble, Abigail Dennington Chesterton, Bella Osterhaupt of Perry, and then Kayla Beauchamp of Jeffersonville. So a couple ranked girls in that quarter.
Yep. Let me see here. Yeah, Leffers had a great semi-state. In the ticket round, she had to beat April Lagner from New Haven, which was one of New Haven's pretty good wrestlers, and then picked up a win over Manor in the semis, and then beat Dill there in the finals. So she's coming in wrestling really well right now, and she ends up drawing a Beauchamp from Jeffersonville, who was a fifth place 2 years ago at 132. I think she may have got beat last year in the ticket. Well, there really wasn't a ticket round with it just being regionals, but I think she got knocked out at regionals last year. So there, Leffers and Beauchamp, that should be a pretty good quarterfinal match right there.
145. Haley Coons of North Montgomery, Katie Robinson Highland, Eden Knight of Columbus East, and Lane Pepler of Rochester.
Yeah, so Knight and Pepler could be a good match right there. Pepler's having a really good season, and 3 losses on the year. I'm not sure if she's been at just 145 all year, but 145 has had some pretty good girls. She's had a lot of competition all year. And Haley Kuntz is having a great year. Let's see, this is her 3rd trip to state. She was state placer last year. Greatly improved from the past 2 years. So that right there, possibly Kuntz and Pepler there in the corners, will be a good match.
Yeah. Going down, Ella Janokoski of Lake Central, Cassidy Higgins of Franklin Central, Elaine Lanes of East Noble, and Paige Cook of Boonville.
Let's see something right here. So Higgins, came through, had a pretty good semi-state to qualify. Unfortunately, she draws Janovoski of Lake Central. She's been one of the top girls in the state the past 4 years, undefeated. Freshman year, she was 2nd. Then took 4th as a sophomore, won state last year, and she's been dominant this year through the season.
Yeah. Okay. Going down the bottom half of the bracket, Franklin Communities, Jaslyn Diaz Avalos against Addison Flores Blackford, Brianna Palmer Portage, and Ella Morris of New Pal.
Yeah, Diaz Avalos from Franklin, really good wrestler. Placed last year, got 7th, undefeated season so far for Franklin. Brianna Palmer, I don't know much about her. She's one I started getting a little bit of whispers about. So that number 12 ranking, don't take that as anything. That could be a real good match there with Morris and there in the first round, and one of those two, could possibly give Diaz Avalos a run for her money in the quarters.
Yeah. And then last quarter bracket, another New Haven girl, Olivia Bodie, number 2 ranked Alejandra Hernandez of Decatur Central, Akela Rashanagutu Taylor, and sorry for butchering that name, against Aubrey Pletke of LaPorte. So that's going to be a real good quarter right there.
Yeah, good quarter bracket. Bodie's tough from New Haven. A lot of success the past couple years. She's placed twice at state. She only has a couple losses, and I'm pretty sure if I would go and look, her 2 losses are going to be to 2 very good girls, either at someone at 145 or someone up at 155. Because I think at the beginning of the season she may have been at 155 to start, but I knew she was going to be coming down to 145 since the beginning of the season. But yeah, she's tough, and that's another one of those New Haven wrestlers to hopefully pick up big points for them.
Yeah, so 155. I know you alluded to this being one of the better weight classes in the state. So this is first round match. You got 3 at number 5, Josie Howes of Monrovia, Kaylee Bussard of New Haven, Leah Suits of Southport, and Alexandra Garcia of Wawasee.
Yeah, right there says it all. Starting out, Haas and Bussard right off the bat. That stinks. They are 2 very good girls, 2 very good seniors. Unfortunately, Bussard had to go through the Rochester semi-state, and if you take a look at the Rochester semi-state, she took 2 losses. That's half of her losses came last week. She had, and you look at who were the top 3. You had Mallory Winner, ranked number 1, undefeated. Grace Harams, she's ranked 6, only 4 losses on the year, and state experience. And then freshman, ranked number 2, Reagan Trinieri of Eastside. So very, very tough semi-state. Haas and Bussard, that one heck of a first-round match right there.
Yeah. Going down, another good quarter bracket. Mallory Winner, 2-time champ, I believe. Sophia Rigel of Greenwood, Madison Raper of Penn, and then Katie McKee of Perry Meridian. Another real good quarter bracket there.
Yep. So I think last week when we were talking, I kind of mentioned that Penn girl right there, Raper, kind of waiting for her to get that win, and she got it done last week, qualifying for state, getting third, let's see, who did she take out? She took out Kleist for 3rd and 4th. Unfortunately, these girls draw into Mallory Winner of Jay County, 2-time state champ, still undefeated, ranked number 1 for a reason. Just really good. So no matter what throughout this whole bracket, the semifinals are gonna, whoever's there, it's gonna be some of the best matches of the tournament.
Okay, going down, second half of the bracket, Jasmine Camacho of Greenfield Central, Kylie Kleist of Tri-County, Grace Hirams of Rochester, and then Maylee Skinner of Madison. Another one, 4 and 6 there also.
Yeah, another brutal draw right there with Hirams and Skinner. Hirams has placed, this is her 4th time to state. She's placed the last 3 years, state runner-up last year. And then Skinner, a sophomore, she placed 4th last year as a freshman. Very tough draw right there with Hirams and Skinner. And then whoever wins that has to wrestle Camacho from Greenfield Central, who's having a great season. So very, very tough quarter bracket right there.
Yeah, definitely. Last quarter bracket, Mackenzie Shoemaker Bremen, Julia Champ of New Pal, Lily Bridges of Franklin, and Reagan Trini of Eastside. Another a good quarter bracket there.
Yeah, Trineri, another standout freshman. Only a couple losses on the year. She's been very dominant. in all her matches this year. She should come out of that quarter, and it'll make for another great semifinal. And like I said, this should make for a great match under the lights. Whoever makes it out of this weight class.
Yeah. Going down 170, Naisha Gindenberger of Southern Raleigh, Braylon Lazier of Columbia City, Natalie Flores of Greenwood, and Clara Gramlin of Lebanon. Real good quarter bracket right there.
Yeah, so you got Gindelberger from South Bend Riley, two-time state place winner. She has Lazier of Columbia City right off the bat. She should be fine, possibly with that match. But if you look at the quarter, you got a number 3, number 4 matchup with Clara Gramlin of Lebanon. Gramlin had a tough ticket round match and came out victorious last week. I believe that was her, with Ella Harpold from Greenfield Central. So should be a pretty good quarterfinal match with Gindelberger and Gramlin.
So then going down the next quarter bracket, Heaven Gardner of New Haven, another good New Haven wrestler. Looks like she's in a good spot. Morgan Mendelikowski of Penn, Jana Brogan of Lawrence Central, and Alex Brown of Northview.
Yeah, Gardner got a real good draw for New Haven, coming in as semi-state champ with this quarter bracket. That right there should be a big match for the team race with a New Haven gets a Penn girl there in the opening round. Brogan just jumping into the scene. Had some good wins last week at semi-state. And Alex Brown, she's been around the past couple of years. She has some experience. So going to have a pretty good match there for the first round. And then, a very competitive quarterfinal bracket. That's one of those quarters where anyone could probably come out of that.
Last half of the bracket, Evelyn Mosconi from Southport, Mackenzie Weatherford Borden, Sophia Gropp of Westdale, and Amani Reed of Penn. So 2 freshmen in there that are looking to make a pretty big upset there.
Yeah, Sophia Gropp having a real good season for Westdale. And if you notice, let's see. So this weight class, it's funny, you have 2 girls from Penn, and you also have 2 girls from Westdale. The girls tournament, you're able to enter 2 girls per weight class at regionals, and both these schools, both of them made it there to state. So a battle of 2 freshmen right there. That should be a really good first match, and then they'll have to pull something really good against Mosconi of Southport, another big hitter for that team. State champ 2 years ago, state runner-up last year. Those 2 years at 182. This year she's down to 170, and very good. Another really good wrestler for Southport.
Yeah. Southport has quite a few girls, obviously, and they could make a dent in the team race there too. The bottom half or quarter bracket: Leah Thomas of Whiteland, number 2; Ashley Sparks of Richmond; Azra Foley of Harrison, and then Paisley Chambers of Westdale.
Yep. So there's your other Westdale freshman, Paisley Chambers. 3 losses on the year. Draws a senior, Azra Foley from Harrison, who's had some pretty good wins this year. So right there, number 6, number 9 right off the bat. And they draw into Layla Thomas, 2-time state placer, ranked number 2. That's probably going to be your semifinal match, Mosconi and Thomas. there in the semis.
Should be another good weight class. Obviously, a lot of girls with some experience, so that should be good. Second to last weight class, Michelle Clifford of Columbia City, Claudia Headley of Sheridan, Jana Howard of South Bend Riley, and Jaya O'Neill of Brownsburg. So you got 2 and 3 right there. So that should be a real good match right there.
Yeah, unfortunate draw for both these girls, Clifford and O'Neill. Both having outstanding seasons. O'Neill, state runner-up last year. Clifford, 4th place last year. Now they're going to be battling here in the quarterfinals. That's going to be probably one of the better matches of the tournament.
Yeah. So I just fixed the brackets, by the way. If you didn't notice, I I didn't realize, or not rankings. I mean, the rankings never had their state experience, but now they do. So check those out. I did not realize those didn't show them until I was looking at them. Going down, next quarter bracket, Jasmine Hollins-Rowie of Warren Central, Amber Hanshoe of Prairie Heights, Trista Powers of Terre Haute South, and Katerwawi, I totally butchered that one, Stevens of South Newton.
Yeah, very competitive quarter bracket here. Hollins-Rowie having a really good season for Warren Central. Warren Central, I think, has brought 4 girls to state. All 4 doing really well. Trista Powers there. I'm trying to. Who did she? She
lost to Cardwell, Hannah West, and Clifford so far, as far as the losses we have in the system. She'd have lost to West at semi-state. Semi-state.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's who I was like, I'm like, I know it was someone really, really good. Yeah, so another very competitive quarter bracket there. You probably see Powers and Hollins-Rowie there in the quarters.
Yeah. So bottom half of the bracket, another Penn girl, Gabby Safukui against Monica McMahon of Columbus East, Reagan Jackson of Daleville, and then against Liberty Reeves of Beech Grove. So you got good Penn Columbus East matchup should be good. I'm sure Cooper and Harper are not, they're no strangers of wrestling on the boys' side, so this will be good for the girls.
Yeah, really good first round match right there with McMahon and Sepakui of Penn. I think McMahon. There's a boy on the team that was a 215 pounder, I believe.
90 or 215. I think he's a freshman too. He's pretty solid.
Or no, I think he may have been 190. Trying to think. Yeah, because I think Cole Mendez wrestling that. Yeah. Yep, 190. Another good freshman too from Daleville with Reagan Jackson, and Liberty Reeves of Beech Grove, a senior. She's had some pretty good wins this year. So that's another quarter bracket that any 4 of them can come out of there.
Yeah, and then the next quarter bracket, Hannah West, 3-time state champ. So, and she's going for her 4th different weight class. She started at 60, 70, 82, and now at 190. It's 190, right? Yeah. So she has Jordan Quesada. Mercedes Telekia of Southport, and Chloe Lynn of Western.
Yep. So, you got right there. You got Hannah West, definitely the clear favorite in this weight class. 3-time state champ, going for a 4th. And then in that bottom one, Telekia picked up a really good ticket round match win last week against Karma Collier of Hamilton Heights, knocking her out of the tournament. Telekia has a lot of experience too. She for Southport, she was also a pickup from Northview too for Southport.
So she was second. A lot of girls in this weight class have some state credential, a lot of state experience, which is pretty cool to see. As I said, Telekia was second at 170 2 years ago and sixth last year at 182. So I'm sure she has some.
And then she draws Chloe Lynn of Western, who was a state qualifier last year at a 250.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but there is such a gap right there from 190 to 250. There was a lot of girls that were, maybe only weighing around 200 and battling there at 250.
Yeah.
So a good first round match there. Unfortunately, they draw into West.
235, the last weight class. Juliana Reed of Penn, Olivia Durham of Southport. That should be a good one for team race implications. Cami Ritchie of Mount Vernon, and then Kara Park of Northside.
Yep. So Reed of Penn, good season going. Kara Park of Fort Wayne Northside, huge win in the ticket round last week, taking out Brielle Humphreys from Kokomo. Ritchie starting to have she's had a good state tournament so far. So that you got a good first round match there, and you should have a good quarterfinal match with whoever wins that against most likely Rita Penn.
Going down, the Alexia Bradley of Perry, Eva Stokes of Harrison, Rebecca Owsley of Lakeland, and Portia Weaver of Monrovia.
So Bradley, sophomore from Perry Meridian. I just really got wind of her a few weeks ago, and she's been winning some really good matches, beating some really good girls. So I think her and Weaver there in the quarter should be a good match. Weaver took some losses at the beginning of the year, but here down this last half of the season, she's been wrestling really well, and also beating some really good girls.
Yeah, she lost to Bachelor 1, 2, 3 times so far this year, and Bart's Zakowicz 2 times, so not bad losses there. Going down, Vivian Park of Columbia City, Erica DeHart of Edgewood, Erin Cable of Harrison, and then Ella Holmes of Shelbyville.
So Cabo Holmes, pretty good first round match right there. A winner will probably come up against Vivian Park of Columbia City. She's a state qualifier last year, having a really, really good season so far.
So the last quarter bracket, Varzidi, Bachelor of Northview. She is 2-time state champ and a 1-time third. I should just look right there. Against Lexi Edwards of Muncie Central, Keely Allen of Greenfield Central, against Aubrey Bartzakowicz of Attica. So that should be a real good quarterfinal match right there.
Trying to see something. Bachelor, very, very good wrestler. She's had a lot of success. Like you said, third, first. And she draws, Arby Bartkowiak of Attica. I think at one point this year, she was the 235 weight classes kind of jumped around with number one girls. A lot of these girls beating each other. She was a state runner-up last year. So that, you got a really good quarterfinal matchup right there with Bachelor and Bartkowiak.
That'll be interesting. I know the girl that beat Bachelor did not enter the state series.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, she wasn't entered in at regionals. Not sure what happened there with Bressa Cone, I believe, of Jennings County.
Yeah.
So and there were happened with there was a lot of girls, really good girls, that for some reason was entered in the regionals this year. So it's sad to see, but you never there's could be injuries or stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's also kind of a weird time of year. Obviously, they know ahead of time, and hopefully you don't have to worry about families going out of town for Christmas and missing that and missing training and stuff. So somebody said she hurt her knee. So that would, injuries and, it's kind of it's a short season no matter what. And they have, if you get hurt, you're not going to have much time to get back to be able to wrestle in the state series. So, Team
and
race.
Why, Jean? I can't take care of a green look. I got a tournament flag and everything.
He's reading the comments now. I better watch out. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting. The team race should be pretty competitive. It looks like lots of different things. That'll change. So it'll be fun to watch tomorrow. I believe it starts at 10 or 11. There's this web page for that. It starts at 11. So
at 11. Yep. So starts at 10 for me. Oh, I'm gonna have a short work day tomorrow. No, I'm excited to watch these matches tomorrow. The tournament, like I said, keeps getting better and better. If you have a chance, I know they're calling for bad weather, but if you can somehow make it to Kokomo, you'll really enjoy it. That Memorial Gymnasium is an awesome place for this tournament. They've done a really good job the couple of times they've hosted it there. It's just a neat old gym. Just you got that old gym feeling, and they make it good for the finals. They have girls coming out of the tunnels with green lights and red lights, smoke shows, red carpet out to the mat. So the girls are in for a really good treat at Kokomo for the state finals. I'm really glad that they moved it back there. It's definitely a great facility for them.
Yeah, it looks like it's a real cool. The pictures I've seen from 2 years ago were pretty cool. So that's always neat to see that they that it's a real cool gym and everything. So that should be pretty neat to see. Let's just see. Anyway, yeah, should be some good wrestling, and you can follow along on Track Wrestling if you're not. Unfortunately, I cannot. Elon messed up Twitter, and I can't do all the tweets of the matches, and I will be probably driving most of the time, so I'm not gonna be able to do too much other than try to do some recaps later in the evening. So. Good luck to everybody. Anything else you want to say about the big tournament this weekend?
Nope. Good luck and have fun.
Yep.
You girls have earned it. And hopefully, hopefully we're in the right direction and we can get this sport sanctioned by the IHSAA.
Yeah, definitely excited to see how it goes, and it's gonna be a lot of upsets and some great wrestling. And as we've alluded multiple times, the depth is just growing more and more right now, and it'll be pretty cool to see how everything pans out. So good luck to everybody. Keep your cowboy hats at home, I guess. So I don't.
Wear them on the post.
Yeah, or just don't wear them on the mats, I guess. I don't know. So I guess Fun stuff. There's always something. There's always some drama at state, no matter what it's about. And you need to keep like a book of just random things that, people, that happen that like have no effect on the wrestling, but yet people get all up in arms. And so anyway, good luck everybody. Mike and I will be back Monday. So lots of good wrestling going on this weekend. I know, did Belmont beat Yorktown? I'm sure I interrupted. You're probably watching Belmont and Yorktown tonight, didn't I?
Yeah, that was going on tonight. I don't know how it went. Most likely Belmont won.
Oh,
we like to do against Yorktown.
There's no love lost between Belmont and Yorktown still?
No.
You guys aren't exchanging Christmas cards yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. A couple more years. So, no, good luck to everyone. And we'll be back Monday. We'll do probably a little bit. We might see if you might be interested in probably maybe doing a recap next week. I'll have to see how my schedule is. It's usually pretty open. So, we'll be back talking more wrestling. So, good luck, everyone, and we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.